Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, yeah, it's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, coming at you once more again with another episode of My Worthless 2 cents, where your approval is not needed. Oh, look
Uh,
at here. Mm-hmm. Old country boy gonna sit back. Mm-hmm. Look here, I'm gonna sit back, cause I told y'all thought I playing. That old boy don't know what he talking about. Mm-mm. Look here, old country boy. He done went out, y'all. He got a nice enough. He got a nice enough. Recording artist. Yeah, he got it. Y'all ain't got to look at my mug. You ain't even got to look at me tonight. Because I got old Dynasty over there. Boy, he a spin around. He be a Dynasty. He a singer. He's a national recording artist. I ain't going to say no more about it. But what I want y'all to do, I want y'all to enjoy. Because I told y'all. I said, look here. Look here. Y'all know I like to eat. Because you look at this old thing here. I like to eat. I say, I got some chefs. And they coming. They coming and they bringing a dish to the table. I wasn't playing. I've been out here searching for chefs, and I done found some good chefs. Now, this old fella right here, let me tell you about this old fella. You know, I don't do no introduction. I don't do none of that stuff right there. But what I can tell you, he can cook. Mm-hmm. He can cook. He can cook. That's why he up on here, because old country boy like these. He can cook. And I'm telling y'all right now, he got some meal prepared. I smell it. I smell it. I smell it right now. The aroma smells so good. Boy, if y'all can smell, if it was scratch and smell, boy, what's that old thing? You be scratching still? Boy, look here, y'all be full. Because I'm telling you, I smells him cooking something good. I don't know what it is he bringing, but I know what. Old country boy got an appetite. Mm-hmm. I ain't even eat no lunch today because I said, I got somebody coming. They bring something to eat to the table. He came to the table. He is here. He is here. Look here. He wasn't expecting this. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Look, I want y'all. To look. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do this over time. Oh, second now.
Tejano stuff. Tejano funk.
Now, oh, Cuddy Buck, look here. I'm gonna press that right there. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna sit back, and I'm gonna tell y'all: sit back, relax, put on your head gear. Old country boy got a special guest about to put something up in your ear. So all I got to say is, my boy, bring it to the table, sir. The table is yours.
To my table. All right. Well, let's sit down and have some fajitas. It's all good. It's home, man. How you doing, Don?
Hey, I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good. What's going on, man? Welcome to the table. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the
Thank
table.
you. Thank you for
Look
having
here,
me.
my brother.
Yeah.
What I want you to do, I want you to come in your own way. I know I did a little prelude. I had to do it. I just had to do it, but I want you to sit here, and I want you to prepare the dish for these people. I want the people to know who you are. I want the people to know about this fella right here. Not that they don't already know, and I'm gonna tell you like I tell other folks. I can't. What's that thing y'all do in the back? A roadie? Is that it? I'll be a roadie. I'll carry your bags wherever you need to go, buddy. I'll do it. I'll carry them. Just let me ride with you. Let me ride. But I want you to come, and I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to tell the people about you, the fella right here, this man that I know. I ain't gonna tell you about the fella I know. I'm gonna let him tell you because I had to get to know him for myself. So he's finna bring it. Now bring it, my brother.
Well, let's see. I'm from originally from South Houston, Texas, over near Pasadena. Grew up there. Went to South Houston High School. Uh, Man, I've been into music shit since I was a kid, man. I can remember always singing along with the radio, was in choir in school. My my whole family is musically oriented. Uh, my brothers and sisters, they sing. My brother Tony plays guitar, bass. My brother David plays the guitar. My brother Felix used to sing backup for me back in the day. I have nieces that sing. My sister Andrea sings real good. I come from a musical family. My dad was always singing around the house all the time. It's funny because I was always the kid that would sing in front of everybody.
Uh-oh, Johnny froze up on me. Uh-oh, hold on. Come on back.
Nerves.
There you
And
go.
she said, "John, shut up, man. You're not in concert. God, dog, man, shut up." Well, guess who's in concert now? But it's funny, But I was always singing along and everything. I've always loved music. Uh, Hell, I grew up, just playing sports and all that stuff, just like a regular kid. But I remember when I was a kid, my dad was part of a social club that was down the street from our house where they had dances every weekend. And my sisters taught me how to dance so they could have a dance partner. They taught me how to dance, man, and shit, I took off from there. I was dancing with all the girls, their friends. I was dancing with all of them. Yeah, so heck yeah. So we'd go, my cousins and I, we'd go to the dances. We'd sit there on the steps of the bandstand or the stage and check out the musicians, playing.
Right.
And it was just part of our deal. We'd go outside and play football, then we'd come inside, we'd listen to the band, we'd go throw the football, come back and listen to the band. That's what we did almost every weekend. So we grew up, going to the dances. Well, years later, my cousins got a little band together, and they called me up out of the blue and say, "Hey, John, you want to sing?" I go, "What? What are you talking about?" I had no idea they even had a little band together.
Wow.
And sure enough, they had a little band together, and we went over there and sang with them, and we were called La Lumbre, a fire, and that's how we got started. Uh, I was terrible. I was terrible. I was so damn nervous getting in front of people. People don't realize, just to get in front of people in the first place, is not easy.
Right. Right.
Much trying to get up there and sing. And even though I always kind of thought I could sing a little, it was nerve wracking. And had it not been for my cousin Johnny, who's not with us anymore, God rest his soul, but had it not been for Johnny, I probably would have just given up. But Johnny, people would always tell him, "Man, you can get rid of John. You can get rid of that boy. Can't sing to save his life." And Johnny would always say, "Nah, y'all ain't heard him, man. I've heard him, man. I ain't heard him." And he's, when he's not nervous and when he's not, shy, well, little do they know they're gonna create a monster. They didn't know I was gonna come out of my shell and just never shut up. But I'm one of those guys, man. I'm a ham. Once I get started, you can't shut me up, man. I'm always over there, singing and everything. But uh, through the years, I got with different bands. But back to my cousins, we had opened up for a lot of the real major Tejano bands. I was probably around 21 at that time, and we played at the what's the name of that damn place? Oh, the Coliseum, the Sam Houston Coliseum.
Wow.
It was huge. It was huge, uh, and that was kind of shoot. I had the bug. I said, "Man, I know this is what I want to do." You know,
Right. Right.
it was a lot of fun. But my sister, I'll never forget. My sister Gloria, she's the one that got me going into the clubs, and that's the only way she could go. I mean, my dad wouldn't let her leave the house or go to these places unless I tagged along. And so, sure enough, she'd get me into the clubs and everything. But she had taken me to a concert, I think like in '82 in Rosenberg. Had all the huge Tejano bands at that time.
Right.
Mas and La Mafia, David Lee Garza, probably one of my favorite bands. But I never forget seeing Emilio Navaira, who ended up being one of the biggest stars in Tejano. Uh, I saw him and the way they jammed and the way he sung and everything, man, I was starstruck. I was like, man, this boy here gets down. And I knew then, I said, man, I was probably, I don't know, 15, 16 maybe. Yeah, around 15. And I said, shit, that's what I want to do. I said, man, that looks awesome. So I had the bug, but once I got it over there and we did that show at the Coliseum, that was it. I was hooked. So we, went through the ringer, I guess you could say. We had a couple of musicians that played with us, and they moved on from us and went on and did a big bigger, better things. Got a band called Fiebre, one of the biggest bands that ever came out of Pasadena. Uh, the bass and the guitar player, Joe and Rudy, they started out with us and they went on, did their own thing and made it huge. Uh, Meanwhile, I was still asking there, they had asked me if I wanted to come sing with them. I said, I was like, man, I want to. And my cousins, man, almost, blood's thicker than Walker, than water. And, uh, yeah, and in hindsight, yeah, I kind of kicked myself in the butt. I had no idea they were going to put a band together like that,
Right.
but they did. They had great success, and to this day, they're still very successful. But I had a recording contract. My CD that we did in '92 um, didn't come out very well. Unfortunately, it just wasn't that great. We had a few songs that got a lot of airplay here in Houston. Back in that time, they had a band, radio station called Kakukuka. Played a lot of the popular music. Uh, they did play my music. Just never really got to that big point. Uh, Now that we're recording, I got some great guys in the band with me. My cousin Jaime plays the accordion for me. I got a guy named Frank Rodriguez, who was one of the founding members of Silverado from back in the day. He plays the guitar for me. Hector Perez plays the bass for me. A new guy in the band. Johnny Silva's on the sax for me. Uh, Javier Trigo is on the drums, and I got Jesse Gonzalez on the keyboard. Jesse's an old guy that still gets it. He's an older dude, man. He's been around for a while, played with so many bands and everything, and he's inducted into the Hano Roots Hall of Fame. So
Wow.
he's a great musician. I got great guys, great musicians, great guys. Um, in the past, what I would get with bands. Uh, it's it was a good thing, but kind of a bad thing. I would get with bands, and it was always kind of to where I had to learn what they knew, and I would basically they'd pick the songs, and I would kind of just learn whatever they had, and sometimes they would play the music that I wanted to learn too.
Right.
But 9 times out of 10, I would compromise and just to be able to get along and play. Now, I'm back onto I'm fixing to get back into the recording studio again. That recording that I did, that's good recording. But I've got some songs that I've written in the past and never got a chance to really do much with. Now that I've got this going on again, I'm fixing to get back to the studio. I've got a song called Quisiera that I wrote that we're fixing to record, and I have a feeling that's going to be probably something that's going to put me back on the map. I think it's gonna do some good things for us. But with the pandemic hitting, it slowed things down for everybody.
Right. Right.
It slowed things down for me. I was just bummed out. I was bummed out, and now we've got the guys back together. We got this great band put together. We're sounding good. Uh, we're coming along, man. It's gonna. We got a show coming up Saturday, as a matter of fact, in Pasadena at the R&R Cantina in Pasadena, and that's going to be a good show. I got some other shows lined up towards the end of the month for April. Got some shows coming up in May. So we're getting back on track. Think of it. Uh, Getting back on track, and with the pandemic, like I said, it kind of messed things up a little bit, but we're back on track, man. We're ready to get back at it. Now, I've had some people, that have some friends that are like, man, John, you still at it? You still at it? You still going for it? I said, hell, some people want to still listen, and people will give me an ear, and, listen to me. I ain't going nowhere. I
Right.
said, I'm still here. So it's on, man. It's on, but back to all the dances. And I mean, I used to go to all the clubs and just go dancing all the time. If I didn't have a gig, I was at the clubs. I was out there partying, dancing, having a good time. Uh, Luckily, I came across a beautiful woman, and I've been with her for going on 10 years now. So I lucked out, got me a good one. She's a beautiful young lady. Yeah, I knew I was waiting for her to say, turn around and say, ah, like, said that I was trying to score brownie points, man. But yeah, man, it's been good. It's been a little bit of a tumultuous ride at times. Uh, I've had ups and downs, just like pretty much a lot of bands. But I love it.
Right.
It's music's like a drug, man. It gets under your skin and under your nails, and just one of those things that you just, as many times as I wanted to quit, and I actually did quit for a while. Uh, yeah, I would get back into it with another band, and then I'd quit, and I'd get tired of it, and so off and on through the years, I've been off and on for years. I feel like I finally got guys uh, that are with me, they're behind me.
Right.
Uh, so I think the future is looking pretty good this time. And I say that just because it's hard to put a band together and keep them together. You
Right.
know,
Right.
uh, I would always hire musicians, and which were great musicians, but they were never really my band. Now that I have my band, these guys that are dedicated to the band, uh, I think time will tell, but I think it's gonna be good this time.
Yeah, I was going. I mean, I was listening to you, and I'm gonna grab this. Now I don't know nothing about a band. I can play some. I can't play nothing. I ain't even finna lie. Um, but you can hire a musician, but you can't hire passion. You know,
You do have to have a passion for it,
right?
You do have to have a, because
And
like I
that's
said, it's not always great. I mean, for maybe for some bands it is. I wish it was like that for me all the time. It's not always great, but I think I had told you the other day that there's a line from the Alan Jackson song, "Chasing That Neon Rainbow," is that half the time I sing for free, but when the crowd's into it, it makes this thing I'm doing seem right.
yes, sir.
Chasing
Yes,
that neon, and that's pretty much what it is. When you're a musician, man, it is, it's not always the greatest thing, money wise, but when it is good, it's good, and it is a passion. You have to have a passion for it to pursue it that way. A
right.
lot of people just pursue it, to an extent. That's it. But to be able to really go for it, you do have to have a passion.
And that's the thing, man. That I'm hearing about your band and I'm hearing about the music, but what I hear most is that you have a passion for it. And what I get from that, and this is where I get that from, is because you've been doing it. You've been doing it for a long time. You've been doing it, and you keep at it. Whether it didn't work over here, but you didn't just pack up. You didn't just pack up the microphone and say, you know what, I ain't never doing this no more. And see, and that's something that don't come from the outside. The outside can't
Yeah,
give you that passion. And like you just said, man, the other thing you said is like chasing that neon rainbow. Even if you ain't doing it, if you ain't getting the crowd, you still doing it because it's what's in you. And that's the thing I tell you. That's the thing that I know and I've learned about you personally. I do know him personally. And I'm gonna get an autograph. Y'all just know that. What I know is that there is a passion and there's a drive to do it. And if it's going, I told some folks a while ago, man, it's like that old train back in the day. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. And you keep going and you keep going because that is your passion. When you find that thing that's yours, and we all got something that's ours, but when you find that one that you've been called to do, man, and I'm gonna get in a little, I don't really have no question, but you've been through some things, but you didn't ever give up. And see, that's that thing right there that when you sing, and I think we've talked about this, when you're in it, when you are in it, you in it, baby. When you in it, you can hear, you're like, Lord, who is that there? Because you are who you are. You are not these other people. It's not like, oh, well, he sounds like, no, he sounds like him. Now they might try to sound like you, but man, I'm telling you, and that's the greatest thing. That is the greatest thing, brother.
it's I've done a lot of covers. I've got music of my own. Uh, we play covers a lot of times just because that's what people recognize. When I play my music out there, people they may not necessarily right offhand is like, oh yeah, I heard that stuff. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They get out there and they're into it. Uh, and it's great to receive a nice compliment. I've had uh, Ramadetta, Emilio, and Jimmy Gonzalez all give me compliments. Now those guys are huge Tejano stars. Uh, Jimmy and Emilio are no longer with us. But Ram, for those guys to give me a compliment and say, "Hey man, Kevin, you kick butt." That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome because those are people that I admire, their talent. Uh, and I've had other people, of course, when it's great to hear when people after a show, "Hey man, you kicked ass, man. That country was badass," and uh, it's I guess that's the drive that kind of makes you keep going. If he were to come out here and say, "Man, you're terrible, man," then I probably would say, "Well, yeah, maybe I need to give this shit up."
Right.
But lately we've had nothing but great response. Nothing but my guys, like I said, man, we kick butt. And uh, I think it's just going to get better. Like I said, we started jamming again probably about 8 months ago, uh, and we were just kind of on a hiatus, basically. We weren't really doing much,
Right.
and Frank, my guitar player, and Hector, they used to play together in a metal band. So all these guys, Johnny, my sax player, they've all played in different bands. They've all played with, and they do to this day. They still play with a couple of different bands, but they're mainly dedicated to our band. Uh, it's great to have that camaraderie. It's great to have those guys. We're getting the family atmosphere.
Right. Right.
Back into back in the day when I did have it going. We had a recording contract in '92 with Freddie Records, and the band then we were good. We just weren't kind of tight as a unit. As a family, I guess you could say. As opposed to nowadays, with these guys that I've got, I do have that sense of family with these guys. So it's a good thing, man. It makes it a lot of fun. Uh, and like I said, there was times when I was with. I'm not going to mention the names because they're probably going to say sorry, dude. But uh, sorry, dude. Yeah, I know you felt like that. But there was times I was with some bands and it was just like it didn't click, didn't
Right.
click
Right.
musically. Sure, yeah, we did musically, but not on a personal level. On a personal level, I can be difficult, man. And the guys, well, I'm sure they're probably listening. They probably say, "Yeah, you can be an a-hole sometimes, yeah." But you know, uh, I can be difficult because I'm a perfectionist. And people, when you're a perfectionist, you got to have everything just right. You got to have everything right.
Right.
And I can be that person, so I can be a little difficult sometimes. And trust me when I say I don't mean it in a bad way or anything like that, but it's just that I want shit right, and that's I set that standard for myself, and I set that standard for the guys with me, So, uh, but the thing is now, more than anything, like I said, now I feel like we're on the right track. I feel like I've got the guys that are willing to support me. In the past, I didn't necessarily have that.
Right.
I had guys that we'd get along, sure, we'd get along okay, sure, as long as we were playing music, as long as I was giving them some money at the end of the night, they were hell yeah, they shit with, and I was their buddy.
Right.
But you know, uh, it's not like that now. But I feel like we're on the right track, and so yeah, only time will tell. Only time will tell. And I've been, like I said, Don, I've been through this. I've been through the ringer, man. When it comes to music,
Right.
I've been through the ringer. I've had great times, and there's ups and downs and everything. I've had great times, and I've had such not great times.
Right.
But it is what it is, and I shoot straight from the hip. I don't BS. I pretty much tell it like it is. And when sometimes I've had people sometimes will come and tell me things that I don't necessarily want to hear, but if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Right. Right.
Like, "Oh, you are a little off tonight." Well, so be it. If I am, I am. It is what it is. But when I'm on, I'm on. And when the band's on, we're on, and we can get it with the best of them. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how this goes. But uh, I guess more than anything, man, the commitment is there. Uh, I ain't getting no younger, man. You know, uh, I'm not the spring chicken I used to be, or the rooster, or the rooster I used. But it's still a lot of fun, man. I'm still having fun doing it, and that's the thing. That's what kind of keeps me going, man. Is that I still enjoy it. I still get a rush when I'm on stage. And like I said, man, when we're clicking on stage, especially, it's a rush, man. It's like anything you do, and you're good at it, and it feels right. I don't care what you do, anything that you do, and if it feels right, then that's what makes you want to keep doing it.
Yes.
And so, to one of my friends that asked me, man, you're still at this? Yes, I'm still at this. Yes, I'm still.
Still doing
Yes,
it.
man, I'm still doing it. Yeah, and because I believe in myself,
Right. Right.
I don't need everybody to believe. I think the guys in the band, if they didn't believe in me, they probably wouldn't be around.
Right.
They didn't they wouldn't be around anymore. But more than anything, I have a lot of confidence in myself, and I have in my ability. So that's kind of what keeps me going. If I didn't, shit, I'd have given it up a long time ago.
Man, I applaud you, man. Like again for that, just that drive and determination. And and it's not a bad thing to set your standards high. To say, man, you know what, I can do better. I can do better. And then on the flip side, it's not a bad thing to be able to be like, okay, I wasn't so good. Somebody heard something. To be able to accept that little thing and not take it personal. Some people, you know how they are. They'll take it real personal, like, oh, you ain't like how I was playing. You know,
It is a hey, man. Look, I don't care. Criticism is a hard thing.
yeah,
Whether it be constructive or not. It's not easy to take.
right, right,
But I'm one of those people that if I'm gonna dish it, then I better learn how to take it.
right,
And I can't say sure it doesn't hurt my feelings. Sure, I'd be lying. Yeah, yeah, sure it hurts, but it is what it is. People hear what they hear, and like I said, I've had a little mix of both sometimes, man. Uh, One thing that kind of does, and I don't really like to make excuses or anything like that, but I don't know what it is, but with my throat, I've had issues with my throat for God, years, man. And it's like a chronic hoarseness or dryness of my throat or something, and so there's days when my throat is great and I can sing great, and there's days when I'm struggling. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's just with age, I don't know, but I've seen older guys too in this industry that still get it. I don't They're in their 60s and 70s and they're still getting it, and they
right.
still sound great. So I can't really use the age thing as an excuse. And like I said, I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm just stating the fact. It is what it is. But so if y'all hear me and I don't sound great, that's my excuse. That's gonna be my excuse now, man. That's my excuse. Yes, I throw that.
It's the ice. Leave me
I
alone.
don't know what happened. But yeah, man. It's like I said, man. I've had some great shows. I've had some that sometimes I felt like I was in a Southwest Airlines commercial. And I just wanted to get away, but I think that's kind of the ups and downs of the deal that you deal with, man. Uh, and I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I speak for myself and for my band. As far as what we do. There's probably bands out there that say, "Shit, I ain't never had a bad show." You're probably lying, but I'm sure at one time or another their shows probably weren't the greatest. But it takes a lot of chemistry to put the magic together. People don't realize a lot of times, like sound. The sound system. People don't realize that. Uh, the average person probably doesn't know that when you're on stage, what we hear on stage is different from what the audience hears, because they have a main, which is what the audience hears, and then we have a stage mix, is what the guys hear on stage. Well, you're used to practicing and hearing each other very good, and you can hear everybody blending real nice at practice. And then you go to a show, not necessarily like that at the show. So we sometimes we struggle. We have in the past we struggled a little bit with that. So I guess yeah, maybe it's kind of an excuse, but it's the truth too. I mean, when there's been shows too when we kick it and we can hear each other real good on stage, it's just like being at practice. And so uh, probably like I said, the average person probably doesn't realize how important that is. So having a good sound man, having a good sound system, light show, production is a big part of what we do. When we've had great production, uh, it sounds great. Then we've had days when we struggle, and the production is not good.
Right.
Then we might not be sounding that great either. Because I've heard some people like, man, we couldn't hear this guy, or we couldn't hear you, and it sounded like somebody had their hand over your mouth, and that's all in the sound. But then we've also had shows too where like, man, I could hear everything great. Everything sounded blended in real nice and everything. So we're kind of at the mercy of the sound man, and there's good sound guys out there. There's some that aren't that great. But the majority of the time, if we have a good sound, we're going to kick it. We're
And
going to
that's
kick it.
man, and you're right. I'm one of them people. I've been on this side because they won't let me on the stage and nothing like that. So I'm always one in the audience and way back there. As you're talking, I'm thinking like, we never think about how much work you guys have to put in before you even hit the stage. We thinking like, oh, well, they just popped up here and did this. But you could be working for weeks and weeks.
And there's bands that I don't know. Maybe I like I said, I can't speak for every band, but uh, there's bands that just have the knack and get up there, and it's no biggie, no big deal for them. And then there's times, there's bands that kind of like ourselves sometimes where it's not always perfect. But the one thing that you have to really think about is that it is a dedication,
Right.
because um, shit for the guys, I got guys coming from Humble, from Rosenberg, and they travel, man. They travel just to get to rehearsal.
Right.
That's dedication, that's commitment. You know, and it was we were practicing in the north side of town, and that was kind of a halfway point for everybody to kind of meet. And man, gas wasn't so bad then. Now the gas is ridiculous.
Right.
Uh, it's kind of a struggle now. But like I said, I'm lucky that I've got guys that are willing to put in the work, and they're willing to they want to get better. They want to get good,
Right.
and eh, I'm sure that, and like I said, man, only time will tell how much better we're going to get, but we're going to be, I think, a little force to reckon with. Maybe not on the national stage anymore, but uh, locally, sure. Locally, yeah, for sure.
Hey, well, man,
And
look, don't put no cap on that thing. Y'all, man, y'all. When you,
you know, when I had that CD out, we had a CD in '92. When I had that CD out and everything, that was national. It was being played all over the United States. Wherever you heard Tejano, that we were being played. That's my goal again, to get back out there, especially now with the internet radio.
yeah, yeah,
Internet radio, it's worldwide, so it's not just a national deal anymore. So we're really, really looking forward to getting back to the studio and coming out. And I think this will probably put me on the map with this song. If not this song, one of them is going to hit, because I've got not just this one. There's a couple of different ones that we're going to record. So and saying that, kind of one thing that kind of sets us apart from a lot of the Tejano bands. There's a lot of country uh, music that's out there that Tejano bands play, but not a lot of Tejano bands play country. They might play like Neon Moon, which is everybody plays that one. When Neon Moon came out, it's one of the most popular songs that in Tejano that everybody was playing. But now that I think that's kind of one thing that does give us a little bit of an edge over a lot of the Tejano bands. There's we play a lot of good country. Hell, and who knows, hell, if Tejano doesn't do it for me, I may go to country.
hey, there you go. You're versatile.
Here's the funny thing about country is that I remember when I was a kid and my teens, my brother David, who's about 20 years older than me, uh, he was listening to country all the time. I would tell me, why you listen to that shit? We listen to that crap for, man. Now I'm one of those. That's all I practically all listen to. So watch what you say, man. You never know that shit. The karma, the old saying, karma come back to bite. But I used to tell them all the time, man, who listen to this shit, man. So that's practically all it is. And I love country music, man. I love country. Uh, I love singing it, and we get a good response with it. When we do country, man, we do Midland and George Strait and John Pardee, Tim McGraw, Alan Jackson, all the artists that you recognize,
Right.
all the artists that you would say, oh yeah, I love that song. We did a show at my brother's benefit a couple weeks back, and we played country music. But I never forget, man. We got off the stage, and as soon as we got off the stage, man, especially my cousin on the accordion, my cousin, he's actually a white guy, so he was, he grew up Mexicano, he was adopted as a kid. Uh, and he loves it, man. I had to practically beg his butt to commit to the band because we had tried for years to get some guys together and we couldn't ever really put a good band together. We had few pieces of the puzzle, couldn't ever put the puzzle together.
Right.
So he was at that point like, man, John, I don't know, now he shines when he's on stage, man, because it's a novelty. You don't really see uh, white guys playing Tejano, especially the accordion. And
Right.
he's
Right.
good. He's good on the accordion, man. He's real good. I can remember he was a little cocky son of a bitch when he was younger, man. He was learning the accordion, and he's like, shit. He knew he was good, and he was cocky about it. But that's good.
Right.
It's a good thing. I don't mean in a negative way, um, because now when he's on stage, it shows the guy's confident. He's good at what he does,
Right.
and but when he got off the stage, I was going to say when he got off the stage at that benefit, uh, man, everybody like, damn, bro, you got down, bro, man, that was badass. He was like the star of the show, and it was awesome. It was awesome, man. Everybody knew me because it was my brother's benefit, so everybody knew me. They're like, yeah, John, we heard you, yeah, but they never really seen my cousin play,
Right.
and so he got down, man. My sax player, he plays with a band called Los Gavilanes, and they're awesome, awesome band. But he plays me. He's committed to the band, but he's one of those guys that's just he picks up by ear, plays by ear. He picks up anything. My guitar player plays the shit out of country. The bass player, awesome. Drums, Javier is awesome. Jesse's awesome on that keyboard. So I'm lucky to have good musicians, man. And that are committed, like I
Right.
said,
Right.
because hey, man, there's been some, and I hear other bands, yeah, cause this guy, man, he didn't show up, and this guy stood me up, and no, man, and then, luckily I don't have to go through that right now. Who
Right.
knows down the line? I don't know, but yeah, I don't want get too damn, but it'll come back and bite me in the butt later. But yeah, man, like I said, right now, man, it seems like things are going good.
Right.
Uh, that we're getting the shows booked again. Uh, and now that people are starting to go out, like they used to,
Right.
it's getting better. It's getting better. But when when we were laid off for the pandemic, nobody was doing anything, man. I was bummed. I was bummed down. I'm sure like everybody else was, but I was bummed because I missed it, man. I didn't realize how bad I was gonna miss it. And so now that we're back on track and we're getting things going again, it's great, man. It's a good feeling to know you got guys that are willing to back you up.
Right. And that, man, that's so important. That is so important. So I know that you got some shows coming up. I know that I just about 100, but I don't think we got time for you to tell all 100, and you're gonna be all over the USA. But you can tell us where you're gonna be at. I want the people to know where you're gonna be at, where you're gonna be playing. What time, all of that, man. Give it to them. Give it to them.
The 12th, which is this coming Saturday, we're at the R&R Cantina in Pasadena. We'll be on stage probably around 10 o'clock. Doors open at 8. The 26th of this month, we're in South Houston at the Hideaway. Same thing, 10 o'clock showtime. April the 2nd, I believe we're at the it's either the 2nd or the 4th. We're at the Hellcat Cafe in the East End. What else we were gonna do a cook off in Laporte. I don't think that one came through. And then we got 2 gigs in Waller. And I'm not sure the date on those. I know no May 28th. It's the April 16th, and I think April 16th in Waller at the Shady Creek Saloon. Oh my God, I don't remember the name of it. I think it's, but what I was gonna say was you can go to our page. Our page has the dates that we're playing.
Okay.
And so it's under John Lopez and Silverado. You go to our page, like the page. If you ever want to know, when we're playing again, of course, my personal Facebook page has all our dates on there and all that stuff. So, um, and to anybody who's needing music, we're booking again. So if you have a cooking team that wants to, have music for your cook off, um, we're the perfect cook off band because we play music that everybody's going to jam to. A lot of bands nowadays are playing what they call conjunto, which is a good style of music. I don't, I'm not 100% into it. I play it because I know people like it.
Right.
My style, my style is more along the lines. We call it progressive Tejano, which is kind of like I don't. We say progressive, but it's more like with keyboards and saxophone as opposed to conjunto is with accordion and bajo sexto, which is a big old guitar. But with my style, like I said, it's an older style because this was like in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Tejano was really hitting big. Uh, Norteño and conjunto kind of came along and took over basically. And there's a resurgence in Tejano because it was kind of dying out a little bit. But there's a resurgence in it. The style of music that we play is coming back. Uh, but we do play conjunto. We do play the we call it the David Lee style because David Lee has that accordion, saxophone, keyboard style, and that's pretty much the same stuff. Mas, David Lee, and George Strait that's all three of us meshed together with this band. That's basically what because we got the country,
Right.
we got the David Lee style, we got the Mas style. We do conjunto music too, for people that love conjunto. But we get down with some Hank Williams. We you get out there and you want to drink beer and have a good time and get rowdy. Here we are, man. That's us. We love it. I love it. And just like I said, man, when the crowd's in it, man, it makes it all
Right.
fun. It makes it all worthwhile.
Man, I do. I see great things coming from you, you and the band. And tell your guys, okay? Tell your guys they more than welcome to come to the table. Look here, tell them don't be mad at me because they just tell them they more than welcome to come to the table.
Yeah,
I,
they're probably saying,
I just trying to get some more
they're not
money.
getting in here. Well, my plan is to, like I said, when we get this recording out, we'll get this recording out, and then you invite us back, and I'll have all the guys linked in, and we can all say a few words and get in there and tell their story too.
Most definitely.
But yeah, because I feel I more or less speak for the band, but I don't speak for them personally.
Right, right,
They got their own state of mind and their own things they like to say and their own stories. I'm sure they'd like to share. But it's a good thing, man. I'm glad I didn't really completely give it up,
right.
because it had gotten to a point where I just thought, man, hell, when I was all slim Jim and working out and all pumped up and looking all good and shit, is when I wasn't doing shit. I wasn't doing anything at that time. Like, damn, that's when I should have really been kicking it, man. Now that I'm looking at it, like, that's when I should have really been whooping that ass. But now
Hey,
it's saying so,
Now,
But
know,
I still, man, I love it, Don. Like I said, man, if I didn't have love for it, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be doing it anymore.
right.
But
It shows.
it's like I said, man.
It
Yeah,
definitely
because
shows, man. It shows.
yeah, you hear me talk about it. You hear me talk about it, and you know what's up, man. But it's one of those deals, man. That the music is one of those things that I've got a, a nephew that he has music on Spotify, and I thought to myself, this little this bad little mofo. His dad, his name's Brad. Man, Brad is one of those musicians that he'll pick up any instrument and just kind of pick it up, and he's awesome on the guitar. Hell, he even plays the bagpipes. That's how talented the dude
Wow,
is. My niece,
wow.
yeah, he can play piano. My niece plays piano. And all that. Like I said, um, music's always been in my family, man. You know, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, and plus, I would also like to send a little shout out. I don't know if they're listening or not, but my cousin Richard Trevino, he played the accordion. My cousin Johnny, like I said, he's passed, but Johnny and I were very close, very tight. I miss him. I miss him big time. My cousin Joe Lewis, he plays the drums. Uh, my other cousin Paul, he was playing the bass. When we had that band La Lumbre, man, we were a bunch of nitwits out there, man. When we started out, it was hilarious. But that was my roots, man. That was where I started. I started with those guys, and we were just, we I guess we never really took it to the level where we thought we were gonna take it to, because, and it's a shame that we didn't, because when we were really on, we were on.
Right.
We had it going on that time. We were good, and uh, I just wanted to say I wished things had worked for us, and it didn't. It didn't work for us at that time. But I wished that things had gone a little different. Uh, But I'm gonna tell you another thing too, man. Working with family is not easy, man. It is not easy, because everybody wants to be the boss.
Right. Right.
Everybody wants to be the boss. Nobody can tell any. You can't say anything to anybody. You can't. Sometimes I feel like that now. Like sometimes I'm almost and like, man, like I said, man. Nobody likes to be criticized. Nobody likes to be told anything. And I don't care who you are, whether you're a musician or not. You don't like to be told anything. That's just how most people are. So being in a band, I'm going to say this for anybody who wants to be in a band. You better be prepared to be flexible
Right.
and accept things, because it's not always great. It's not always great. But when it is great, man, yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That is the thing, man. And I will say this, and to you, is that everything works out when it's supposed to. And I speak for myself personally. Some things we think should be a certain way at a certain time, but it's not where we're not where we need to be for it to be where it needs to be. If that makes any sense, it's when we get to that place, when we get to that place, and we're on that right track, and it's like all the puzzle pieces start falling together, and everything start working. You going like, huh? But that's when the good Lord said, "No, now you lined up where you need to be," and that's when everything starts to just work, and it starts to all that rough stuff that you went through. Now you understand it. You go like, that's why. Aha! It's that aha moment, and I think for you, and I would say that person. I know that you've had some of those aha moments, and I'll tell you, man, where you are right now, where you're going. You know, you may have thought, that you was up here then, baby. I told you before, man. I told you this was a season right here. I told you thought I was playing with you. I told you this was the reaping season, man. Everything, everything that you sold out there before that you thought, man, watch this season. Watch how it just the elevation that you're about to receive in the thing, because you are doing it the way it should be done, how it should be done. You set the standards. You're walking in it. And that's the thing, man. And I say it all the time, man. Don't be telling me about your faith walk. What I want to see is that I want to see it. Don't tell me about it. I want to see it. And what I have seen is you walk it, man. I seen you walk it. I seen you dedicated to it. I seen you going about it, not the crooked way, not trying to shortcut. I seen you going like this, man. And look here, brother. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if you got to, I'm telling you again, I'll be a roadie. I'll be the roadie. I will carry the bag because I know, because
You're gonna be my hype man. You're gonna be my hype man. Get me up there on stage with your energy. That's exactly what I need, man. And it's funny because a lot of times, what a lot of people probably just miss or don't really know is that I think maybe people have a stereotype of when you go to a dance. Like I told one of the girls at work, and she's a white girl, and she said, I don't know if I would be able to get to enjoy it that much. I said, sure you would, of course. I said, we all speak English, but I think a lot of people don't. They
right.
probably think, you go to a Tejano club, you go to a club where they play Mexican music. Oh, everybody's going to know Spanish and nobody knows it. Hey man, we know English. We know we speak English, all that stuff. But what they had to realize is that the genre of Tejano is there's all kinds of people. And I was going to tell you, most people when they get up there, they say, "Bueno, sí, porque sí," they get into there, and the people are over there. The DJ's going crazy and everything. But that's what I was telling you the other day. Is that, man, you need to be my hype man, and don't worry about speaking Spanish, man. Don't worry about all that because all these Mexicanos there, they all know English too, man. Even if it's broken, they at least know some English. They'll at least make out what the hell you're saying. So yeah, man. So you probably gonna be my hype man before it's all
Hey,
said and
hey,
done.
hey. Oh, look, old country boy need a job or two. I'll take a job or two. But, look, if this whole thing don't work out right here, I'll be right there. Man, but John, man, you and your band and everything you're doing, man, again, that's what this thing is for. What you just said about people feeling so. I brought you here to the table because I want to show people, like, man, I said it yesterday, man. I'm just trying to be this thread. That's all I can do is just be the thread, man. So I'm here and I welcome you here. I'm glad you accepted and came to the table and brought something, man, and brought this dish. For me to eat on, for them to eat on, because that's what we got to do. That, man, if nobody don't know nothing else about this old boy, all I'm trying to do is work my way to do this right here for all of us. For all of us, I'm here to support you, man, and what you're doing. This forum is set to support people who are doing positive things out there. I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna keep on doing. Long good Lord give me breath in this big old mouth. He gonna keep on. I don't know. He might, you know. But I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna keep on supporting and pushing everybody that's doing something positive. Man, I've seen your work. I seen your work. I seen you put it in. I seen you put it in when you didn't feel like putting it in. When your body said shut down, you said, I'm finna go out here because I got to do this. Because, man, you're doing it. You are doing it. Your band is doing it. I applaud you. I applaud you. And and when I can't dance, but I'm
no, come on, come on. I seen you. I seen you. You better stop. I already know. Don't let me, man. But speaking of dancing, it's funny, man. When I was younger, like I told you, if I didn't have a gig, I was always in the club, man. I was always out dancing, always having a good old time. Uh, the old knees ain't like they used to be, man. Yeah, man, I still get it. I just can't get it like I used to get it. I can still get it, but just man, get it. Like I was John Travolta out there or something, man. All them turns and all this. I used to do all that stuff, man. It was funny, but and I enjoyed the shit out of it, man. I loved going dancing all the time, man. It was a blast. It was a good time. But back to the shows and everything. I'm hoping that people grab an interest and want to come to our shows and check us out. As much shit as we probably talk, they come see it. That way you can say, well, he didn't talk so much shit. He didn't do it. But we do have a good show. And like I said, look on our page, John Lopez and Silverado, or you can just look on my personal page. We have some show dates on there. And like I said, man, if you're needing some music for any of your events, then give me a call or contact me on Facebook. or contact me through the page. Or you can contact my guitarist, Frank Rodriguez. And I think it's Frank Rockin' Rodriguez on his page, if I'm not mistaken. But either one of us, you can get in touch with us. And if you need some music and you want to book the band, then get in touch with us through the page. I've got cards also. Then my information's all on my page, all that stuff. So if you like what you hear and you think you're interested and want to check it out, well, the door's open, man. Get in touch with me. Let me know what's up.
You heard it from me. And look, and I'm gonna say this right here. Y'all can go over there to old YouTube. I did. Old country boy found out how to use no computer. I went to YouTube and I was playing his music because his music's on YouTube. That's right. That's right. So look, my man, John Lopez. Man, look at here. Old Country Boy Show. Thanks you for coming, man. I really do. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you for having me on here, Don.
Man, look here. It was my pleasure. It's my honor. Man, thank you for taking the time out. If I took you away from rehearsal, I'm sorry. But if you need
tomorrow, man.
If you need me, baby, if you need me,
it's on, man.
It's gonna be air. It ain't gonna be no real sticks. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna just be playing air. That way I can't mess up.
You got to practice your Tejano dancing, man. When you come out to the shows, man.
Hey,
shows you can get off. Gonna be the Booyah King, man.
I'll do it. If I can't do it, I still love it. Look here. And if I can't love it, I'll mess it up real good.
I'll give it hell trying.
Hey, look.
I really appreciate you having me on here, man. I'm sure a lot of people maybe see me as a real serious person. I like to joke around and everything all the time, man. But the people that don't really know me that well probably think I'm real serious, and I am too. When sometimes I am all business, but for a lot of the times, I love to crack up and have a good time and joke around, and just like anybody else.
Right.
But more than anything, man, like I said, I just want people to know that, hey, man, I'm still here. I'm probably not gonna go away anytime soon. God forbid. But the band, like I said, we're sounding good. Come check us out, man. Come check us out. I think you'll be pleasantly pleased.
Man, look here, y'all heard it from the man himself. Y'all heard it from the man. The national recording artist, Mr. John Lopez. He is coming back, y'all. He is gonna be live all over the state of Texas. So look, y'all better get in while you can. Better get in while you can. Look here, John, I appreciate you. To my people out there, like I always say before I end this thing, look here, I love you all unconditionally, and guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all have a good one now. You're here. Appreciate you, John.
All right, thank you, Don.